And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Vermeer, we have the Brood War Terran player. We have the Red Terran. Representing Team Snarcom, it is BratOK. And spawning in the bottom right-hand corner, we have his opponents. We have the Taiwanese Protoss player, the Blue Protoss. It is StarAtt. Here we go. As we do jump into our initial TvP, and welcome one and all to Vermeer. Vermeer has some unique aspects to it, as do all the ported Brood War maps, and welcome to one of the many 4-player spawn maps. Unlike SE2, Brood War, or here in StarCraft Evolution and in Brood War, we're not afraid. We're not afraid of 4-player maps, and honestly, they're a lot of fun as well. We do have the close vertical spawn locations, by the way, not diagonal spawns, and BratOK, he will scout on the right-hand side, and he will find StarAtt immediately. They will actually spot each other. There we go. So they do spot each other. They're aware of each other's spawn location, and again, because we have close spawns, that means the rush distance by ground is going to be shorter. That means aggression can be favored here between the two players. Ooh, CC first out of BratOK, CC first into Rex, a greedy opener here, which can be risky, especially because you don't necessarily know your opponent's location initially, but he should get away with it. He should get away with it. StarAtt going for a gate expand, standard opener out of StarAtt, a bit of a greedier start out of BratOK. Now, something that we see a lot here is mech. Of course, when it comes to Brood War Terran, mech is a little more viable against Protoss. I mean, you could argue that currently we still do see, we've been seeing a little bit more mech against Protoss actually in StarCraft 2, especially with the Cyclone, as the probe does go down. But here mech is a little bit different with the Vulture. The Vulture, of course, is a great harassing unit, can also gain map control, and behind it you can build up your tank count as well. So again, we'll see how BratOK will approach this, but he is known for mech. I'd say he was known for his mech. Likewise, outside of this being a 4-player spawn map, we also have these points of elevation in the center. We did speak about how high ground is that much more important in StarCraft Evolution because of that mischance. So as a result, claiming this high ground and taking these fights here is more crucial. These are more pivotal locations in the map. You can see, again, like these are only, like these are not, these areas of elevation, they're only designed to siege and to stage kind of these big fights as well. That's why they're so narrow. That's why it's only one strip as well. Like it's designed for that kind of fight, for that kind of advantage. So there's a bunch of like high ground elevated areas here for that to set yourself up. Likewise, because it's a 4-player spawn map, there are plenty of bases. They're more spread out, especially towards the edges of the map. Behind this double factory, no surprise, mech. Right, again, as we mentioned, BratOK, he is known for his mech in StarCraft Evolution, in Brood War, or in StarCraft 1, in Brood War. So factories are on the way, making it up. It should be working towards Vulture Tech. Ooh, BratOK hiding in SCV. I mean, again, because of these larger maps here, going for something like a ninja base is more viable. We see that a lot more on these 4-player spawn maps. As he's actually scouting, he's scouting for ninja bases. Okay. So he's scouting for ninja bases just in case. Again, ninja bases are more common on these maps. There we go. We do have ion thrusters on the way. That is going to be Vulture speed. Oh, nice catch. Likewise, again, for those that maybe haven't seen StarCraft Evolution before, you can even tell that the audio, the sound, the audio design is Brood War as well for Brood War units. So that's the Marine shooting sound from Brood War. Likewise, tanks and everything is all, like, again, unique models. I don't know if you noticed, but the Marine model is also different to the SE2 model as well. The old loading sound. It's so nostalgic. Just hearing the audio design as, we do catch out the Stalker once again, taking a lot of hits, taking a lot of damage. Once again, nice sort of stepping here from BratOK. He does for StarAtt's back. Vultures have arrived at time to have the Stalker. Barely not racing across the map instead. Behind the StarAtt did open up Robo. I should have pointed that out. Robo into Immortal production, but the Vultures, they just rush past. And they rush into the main. They rush past the army. They force a recall. Spider Mine is not yet done. 3 seconds away. 2, 1. He has Spider Mines. Can he set up in time? Can he set up? He gets 2. Sets down 2. 1 is targeted down. The other looks like will connect. It's going to be close. Barely not within range. Barely not. You can see here Spider Mines, they do have a much shorter range compared to a Widow Mine. So much shorter range. And also they can't reposition, right? They can't unburrow, they can't uproot. They're stationary for the most part. You can technically drag them, of course. You can drag them. So they, in a way, can somewhat be repositioned. Well, StarAtt will shut them down. Behind is another Vulture run by being set up on the left-hand side. They do scout the third. And again, StarAtt is going for a more robo-heavy composition into delayed Twilight Council. Gateways are wrapping up. StarAtt, he is committing across the map here, moving out with everything. Remember something, though. His recall's on cooldown. Remember, he just recalled for the previous run-by. So he is more vulnerable to this counter-attack. Does slip in. Loving the curving. The Spider-Man's... Ooh, Spider-Man goes up. I'm loving the positioning. Ooh, as we force some friendly fire. I don't know if that was intentional, but nice defense out of StarAtt. Again, the mine was triggered on the Zealot. The Zealot survived, and it killed the Vultures. Very nice defense. Again, I don't think that was intentional, but that was cool. As more Spider Mines are set. Delaying the push, but StarAtt, he's still committing, still moving in. He wants to break that natural. Meanwhile, siege mode has been researched, but the first tank is exposed. Boys are being pulled to repair. And the tanks, they will siege. Tanks, they do siege up. And the tanks, they're getting within range. At the same time, oh! Nice moves here. Again, StarAtt has to be that much more careful because of all these spider mines. Has to be so careful. He's clearing them up. Does catch them. More spider mines set up on the high ground. Vultures, oh, they do run in. They try to rush past. Once again, they're being denied. They're being shut down. But StarAtt, he pulls back. Does pull back. Does pull away. And this is giving BratOK some time to build up his own forces. For the time being, he has been harassing with Vultures, but the entire time he's been building up that tank count. The tank count is slowly amassing here. So BratOK building up a greater army, and soon will expand. No all-in, third CC. So he will expand, claim that third. StarAtt, he was hoping to contain, hoping to try to even break BratOK, but has failed to do so, as the tank count is getting very high. StarAtt looking for a way in. Tanks that will punish. Oh, yeah, sorry, he cannot push into this, not into this siege line. Does pull away. Now, something that can break into siege lines, though, are Zealots. Like, Chargelots are on the way here. As mines aren't quite connecting. Vultures, once again, they drag StarAtt back home. They head into the mineral line. And 2, 3, 4 probes going to be going down, and StarAtt brings everything back home to defend. And once again, that just gives BratOK more time to breathe, more time to set up all of these mines. Does catch out the Observer. And soon can expand. We're going to be here for a while, by the way. Like, BratOK, he is not pushing with the tanks. He is slowly gaining ground, slowly just breaking free, breaking out. Claiming a base, a third, then eventually a fourth base, then eventually a fifth base. Taking it slow until he maxes. For StarAtt, it's on him to try to break BratOK ahead of time. It's one of two things. Either you break him ahead of time, or try to beat him in the late game. In the sense, just mass expand, right? Just get another base, focus on probing, on saturation. The probe count is still very low here for StarAtt, but if you can build up his economy, you know what that means? Sky Toss, right? Then you can try to go one step ahead and just rush into Sky Toss, into Tempest, into Carrier, and that would force out mass Goliath, of course, from the Terran. But you can try to head BratOK off. For now, pushing into the siege line. Does get a tank. Does get one. The other tanks do siege, and they will punish. Okay, they force back the Stalkers. Stalkers are forced back. More Zealots going to be warping in. Now, with a massive amount of Chargelots, you can break this siege line. Like, Spider-Mine is going to be crucial to defend against Chargelots. But so far, StarAtt doing a great job dealing with those mines. They're doing a great job here. Zealots have arrived. Goliath production has begun. Oh. It's also going to be trickling in. They get on top of the tanks. It's going to be 1, 2, 3 tanks going down. Oh my god. But the punish is real. Again, the tank line in the back line here, it's just brutal. It punishes. That was how many? That was an Immortal, an Archon, 4 Stalkers, and 5 Zealots for 3 tanks, essentially. So a better trade for the Terran, better trade for BratOK. Once again, oh god. Again, trying to break this siege line with a ground army, it's not easy. And we shouldn't be. Like, I'll be honest, I mentioned it before, but it might just be too late here. That was such a poor fight. Now BratOK, he feels confident, he breaks out. He does go for the mass on siege. He's pushing. He has momentum. He does have momentum. StarAtt, he's in trouble. Yeah, he's in trouble here. An Immortal goes down to 1 Immortal. Tanks are sieging. Another Immortal goes down. A Goliaths are in the mix as well. So he does push forward. Setting up on the high ground. Stalkers, they blink forward. They take down 1, they take down 2 tanks. The rest of the tanks are late to siege. Yeah, they're a little bit late to siege here. The tanks are exposed. On top of that, StarAtt, he has the high ground. Yeah, he has the high ground. He cleans up every single tank. Better fight here for StarAtt. BratOK caught on siege. And suddenly, StarAtt, can he pull this off? He's going for it. Can he get on top of the tanks? He can. Yeah, he can. He will. 1, 2 tanks go down. And BratOK, he has been broken. Third base is going to be forfeits. Void's going to be pulled away. Again, we spoke about how important like these areas are. And StarAtt, he had the high ground. Forcing friendly fire. He was able to make a stand. Also, of course, he did catch BratOK on siege. And GG gets called with that StarAtt. He does brute force his way through. He will take game number 1. Whew, GG. GG, well played. StarAtt, he does claim the first game here. Very well done, very impressive. Again, things were looking a little bit dire for StarAtt. Like, he was taking some rough fights, to be honest. He was taking some rough fights, but it all led into that final engagement, of course, where he was able to gain control of the high ground, was able to catch most of the tanks on siege as well. But I thought he just didn't have the setup that he needed there to take that fight. It also shows how vulnerable tanks can be when they are lacking that support, when they are, you know, in their regular mode, not siege mode. And GG. GG, well played with that. StarAtt does claim the first win. Let's go. Here we go. You can play SC2 or Brood War races. Yes, the way the StarCraft Evolution works is that one player plays SC2, the other player plays Brood War. StarCraft Evolution, this mod, is not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War. Bear that in mind. It's not balanced for Brood War versus Brood War, so they do not actually feature that. It's specifically balanced for Brood War versus SC2. So Brood War matches do not happen in this tournament. They do occur in other tournaments, which does make it a little bit fun. I'm referring to Kung Fu Cup, but it's not built for that. Here we go. As we are getting into game number 2. I'm going to be loading into Sylphid for our next game. Let's go. Sylphid, of course, is a 3-player small map, for those that remember. It is 3 players, not 4. But fun fact, as StarAtt is switching to now StarAtt, of course, he has to switch to Brood War. He is not switching to Brood War Protoss. He is switching to Brood War Zerg instead. Interesting. I'm expecting some cheese, but we'll see. We'll see. As spawning in the top side of Sylphid, we have now the StarCraft 2 Terran player, the Brood War Terran, representing Team Starcom. It is BratOK. Now down to the series, we'll see if we can bounce back and force the ace match. And spawning in the bottom right hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the Brood War Zerg player. He was SC2 Protoss, but now he is Brood War Zerg from the land of Taiwan. It is StarAtt. Oh, thank you so much, Hyper1, for letting us know that apparently he is a random player for Brood War and he rolled Zerg, which means BratOK has no idea. He has no idea what he's up against. He has no idea who he's up against, specifically in regards to race. There we go. As StarAtt will expand, will claim his own natural. Likewise, BratOK setting up with his initial wall. Now, as a reminder, welcome to Sylphid. Sylphid is a 3-player spawn map. You can spawn in top side, bottom left, or bottom right as well. So there are 3 possible spawn locations, and StarAtt happens to be checking with the Overlord at the exact moment, or at the exact location where BratOK is. So He will scout BratOK initially. There's also a chance that BratOK won't see the Overlord himself, as I believe the Overlord has more vision than the buildings, so there is a chance. Meanwhile, a hatch gas pool, standard opener out of StarAtt. StarAtt does move in. Oh, BratOK, he will miss the Overlord just barely. Yeah, it does miss the Overlord. Behind this going interesting. Reactor first into CC. So a bit of a greedier build here by BratOK. And StarAtt, he will confirm. There we go, he does confirm. Because of the specific route of the Overlord, BratOK hasn't seen yet, but BratOK is checking bottom right anyway, and it will also confirm the location of StarAtt. So they will spot each other. Behind this, StarAtt going for link speed. He does stay in gas, by the way. That is a sign that we do plan on teching. Whether it's going into a lair or going into Hydra production, we're going to be spending that somewhere. And of course, BratOK does confirm. Does confirm gas still on the way. Do you have the safety sunken colony here on the low ground or at the natural? I'm just so used to the natural being on the low ground compared to the main. Not the case here. Actually, am I crazy? When was the last time we had this? Have we had this in... I'm referring to in StarCraft 2. Maybe there's like an obvious map that's like slipping my mind, but when was the last time we had the main base and the natural in the same plane of elevation? I think that's the case in like 2v2 maps, but in 1v1, I don't think... I can't recall. If anyone in the chat can remember something like that, then let us know. Meanwhile, fast lair. Okay, so with the gases being taken, I was curious if it was going to be Ling Hydra or not. We have the fast lair on the way. As a reminder, Hydra tech is not lair based, it is hatch based, so I'm leaning towards muta play here. Do we go for the Spire? Yep, there it is. Going for the Spire. And again, like fast lair screams, fast lair screams Spire play. So we are going into mutas. Behind this, saturating on two bases. Meanwhile, BratOK going for his own 2-1-1. StarAtt does confirm. So there's a lot going on here. One, a 2-1-1 is designed to, I would say, almost hard counter 2-base muta. Like Mass Marine with Stim as well is devastating for a Brood War Zerg player. Remember, there's no Lurkers, there's no Bailing, because Bailings don't exist in Brood War. Like, the anti-marine defense is going to be very limited. There's a scan! And it does confirm the Spire. He sees the Spire, he does see the Hydrogen as well. This tells us to start, he might just make like 5 mutas and then go into mass Hydra. Like he might just make a harassing amount of mutas. And BratOK, he knows how vulnerable StarAtt is as well. He is aware. Zero Overlord is hunted down. Ling run by is attempted. Shout out to the bipedal Lings. Let's go. The hands are up. They're ready to go. I love the Zerg model. It's so good. As we're rushing into Broodlord tech. Broodlord? Lurker tech, what I meant to say. Which makes sense. Like again, we're going to Hydra straight into Lurker tech. Again, how do you survive against a 2-on-1? I mean, Lunkers would be an answer. Scourge on the way as well. We only have a handful of mutas. It's gonna be 2? Question mark. Okay, a handful of mutas, Scourge as well to help deal with those medevacs. StarAtt is setting up. We have a wall of spine crawlers. Oh my god, a wall of sunken colonies. StarAtt taking this very seriously. Which means I can see him defending the natural 100%. What about the third though? What about the third expansion? As here comes BratOK. Actually going to be pushing here a little bit later. This is a more unique variation of 2-1-1. Hitting with +1, hitting with Hellbats as well. This is more dedicated out of BratOK. Unfortunately, he doesn't know what he's pushing into. He doesn't know that we have a wall of spine crawlers here. Or wall of sunken colonies, I should say. Wall of side defense. As BratOK does move out. The Lurkers are morphing in. Now, lurkers, bearing in mind they have less range than the SC2 lurker, but the scan does reveal them nonetheless. And there's only two. He wants one. And does target one down. A massive pickoff. Takes down one. But doesn't quite get on top of the other. To take a lot of hits from those Zerglings. And to take a lot of hits. Finds our sunken colonies are ready. And start defense. Sorry, he defends. And I'm worried for BratOK because this was so dedicated. There should be a third CC, but there isn't one. Yeah, so dedicated. The mutas that will clean this up. And BratOK, he's in trouble. He's in danger here. As this basically 2-base all in. He went 2-base all in and he fails to get any economic damage. And now StarAtt building up more lurkers, building up more Scourge. BratOK, now he expands, but this is a 7-minute third base. Ay, ay, ay. Such a late expansion here for BratOK. Meanwhile, liberating to the main. Ah, not bad. Hey, drones are going down. Mutas have to respond. Meanwhile, StarAtt, he does rotate as well. Patching up the army, he's trying to. Good. Pulls away. Lurker's getting in position. So we have a larva going down. Mutas will clean this up. To clean that up. The main base so far. StarAtt, he should be able to clean this up as well so far. Oh, I say that, might just going up. We'll shut down the drop. Behind this, still no third base for BratOK. Still needs more time to get it up and running. And again, this is just a shaky mid game here for BratOK. StarAtt, he breaks out. The lunkers here for Brood War are so square. I say square, they're so... There's a lot of edges to them, I should say. Here we go. Do collapse in. Ooh, a brutal mind connection. Yeah, nice mind shot, but there's nothing else. Yeah, there's nothing else here. GG gets called. BratOK, he is broken. The 2-base all-in fails. And StarAtt, he'll snowball out of control, claim the win, and advance on 2-0 over BratOK into the semifinals. GG. GG, well played. Initially, I was concerned. I was concerned for StarAtt. I was concerned about the 2-1-1, but it wasn't a 2-1-1. It hit later than a standard 2-1-1 because BratOK, he doubled down. He went into Hellbat, he went into +1, he went into Combat Shields. It was a much later push. Because of that, StarAtt had plenty of time to do what? To wall up. It was crazy to see, but he threw down, was it like 4 or 5 sunken colonies at the natural, threw down more sunken colonies at the third base. He fully walled off, and thankfully, once he realized, remember, he scouted with the Overlord, he saw the 2-1-1. Once he realized, he immediately threw down a Hydrogen and rushed into Lurker Tech. Like, he knew that mutas would get him killed. If he had committed into pure Ling muta Scourge, he most likely would have been overwhelmed there, but he was so fast to switch out of mutas into lurkers. GG. GG, well played. With that, StarAtt, he will take the series 2-0, and we'll move down to our next quarterfinals match. Here we go. Up next, we have a returning player, a player that we haven't seen in a very, very long time. It's going to be Rebellion versus Universe. Let's go.